What's up, guys? Tino Patino here with Ryan Blaney, driver of the number 12 car. Now, Ryan, we haven't been racing in a couple weeks. What were you doing in your off time, and did you have any fun?
Yeah, we had 2 weeks off for the Olympics there, and so watched a lot of the Olympics, so that was nice. See USA do really good. Took a trip with some friends down to the beach and just kind of relaxed for some days, but I can only do like a week off, and then I kind of start to get restless and want to go back racing. But no, it was fun. Nice for everyone to get a little bit of a break before we start, this run towards the playoffs.
So you said you've watched some of the Olympics. What was your favorite sports to watch in the Olympics, if you had some?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the swimming's big, right? So watch the swimming, USA basketball. The men's and women won the gold medal, which was great. Those are probably my favorites to watch. I grew up in a house, my sisters were gymnasts, so I watched gymnastics a little bit just because that was part of my childhood, watching them do it. So those are probably my favorite events, and the USA did really well in them, so that was cool.
Yeah, now speaking of gymnasts, gymnast Simone Biles actually pulled out of a couple events due to her mental health. Now, for you as a driver, and the pressure to perform each and every week, how important is mental health for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's, everyone kind of deals with it differently, right? And you never know what's going on in someone else's head, or, the stress they're under and the pressures that go into their job or sport or whatever they're doing. And yeah, when she announced that, that's her personal decision, and no one can tell her anything otherwise, right? I mean, they don't know what's going on in her mind or the stress she's under. So I was, proud for her to want to take a break and not risk hurting herself. But yeah, I mean, the stress of anything, whether it's a sport or a desk job, it can get to you, right? No one really knows what you might be going through with your profession. So the way I've dealt with it is just not bottle it in. You have someone to talk to about it, kind of vent it out, and I think that's the best way to kind of do it instead of bottling it in and keep it inside you forever. That can sometimes make you burst here if it gets too big. So that's kind of how I've always dealt with it, and encourage people to, if you're having problems like that, express it and tell somebody you can trust and really be able to vent that way.
Definitely. Those are great points. And we're back. Not only are we back racing after a couple of weeks, but we're back racing at the Glen. It's been a couple of years. So for you personally, how does it feel to be back here in New York and back racing here on this road course?
Yeah, it's great to be back. I hated missing this race last year. The area is great up here. The fans are awesome. The campgrounds are packed this weekend. So it's just nice to be back. And the racetrack puts on a good show always too. So nice to finally be back. Yeah, it was a little bit weird not coming here for a year and then jumping back on the racetrack with no practice. You got to think back in the memory bank a couple of years ago to try to remember how to get around the place. But no, great to be back and good to see all the fans out here, and hopefully the weather stays as nice as it is right now.
Yeah, for road courses specifically, though, for you guys in the 12 team, you only have one top 10 finish out of the last 4 races this season, road course-wise. Can you explain why that is and what you guys are kind of missing there?
Yeah, really, ever since like the Clash earlier this year, we were really fast in the Clash, but ever since then we've struggled a little bit to kind of get our road course program where it needs to be. And Road America a month ago or so, that was a big struggle for us. So you kind of look at all the places you struggle with and what areas you need to improve on, and you try to make changes for them. And we've made a lot of changes for this weekend, and you hope to apply them for next weekend. If they're positive or negative, maybe you try something else. So yeah, I think it's multiple stuff, but nice to start up towards the front today. That's going to make it a lot easier, but you just hope the speed's there in your car. And like I said, we got a few new things on the car to maybe make it a little bit better, and hopefully we had the speed today.
Definitely, and I'm glad you brought up next week. Next week's going to be at Indy, but it's not at the typical Brickyard 400 anymore, which was considered a crown jewel race, if you will, for NASCAR. So we got Daytona 500, we got the Coke 600, Darlington, the Southern 500. Now that we're missing that sort of crown jewel 4th race, what would you consider a crown jewel type of race now that one's gone?
Yeah, I think, still speaking on Indy, I think it's still really important. I mean, you're still, if you can win, still win at the Brickyard, so that's still something to, hang your hat on. But, man, the Bristol night race to me is, awesome. That to me is already kind of a crown jewel race, you could say. And I'm looking forward to that one. We still got that one here in a couple months. So, yeah, the night race, I think, should have that title for sure.
Awesome. And it was recently announced that Austin Cindric is going to be replacing Brad Keselowski in the 2 car next season. But now that means you're not the youngest Team Penske driver anymore. So, I mean, how do you feel about that? Are you excited to sort of be the middle child now?
That's nice. Yeah, I'm not the young guy getting picked on anymore by his older siblings and stuff like that. But no, Austin's done a great job. In the Xfinity stuff, he's a champion, and he's done a great job this year. And he's deserving of a Cup ride. And just the way things played out. He's going to be in the 2 car, and then we have another young driver, Harrison Burton. Going to the Wood Brothers, which is a good opportunity for him too. So, yeah, being the middle child is good. I grew up the middle child, so I feel like I'm at home now, which would be nice.
That's perfect. Now, last segment here, real quick. Green, white, checkered segment. I'm going to ask you 3 questions about you personally. And so first one being, if you could play any Olympic sport, which one would it be?
Oh, man. I get my butt kicked in any of them, but I really enjoy playing ping pong, man. I have nothing on the Olympians, but I like playing ping pong. That's a sport I could probably play and not have a worry of, like, getting demolished like boxing or like wrestling. So ping pong, yeah.
Yeah, the safer route. Corey LaJoy said badminton, so, around there, yeah. Now, second question. If you were to be stranded on a deserted island, which driver would you want to be stranded there with the least?
The least? Man. It's usually the opposite. It's like, who would you want to take with you? The least? That's a really good question, man. You got to have someone that, like, has no survival skills whatsoever, would just complain the whole time. Man, I don't know. I'm going to be throwing like someone under the bus here, but Bubba's a good friend of mine, but I don't know if I want to have him stranded with me on an island. I feel like he'd, really complain and be like, it's hot out here, and he might eat me too. I don't know. If it come down to it, I don't know. So, yeah, if I had to really throw someone on the bus, I'm going to throw someone I know and say him.
All right, a little best friend betrayal. I don't know about that. I spoke with your friend Ryan Blaney before, and he told me out of all the drivers here, he'd like to be stranded on a deserted island with you the least.
That's sarcasm all day long.
No, he meant it.
He meant it. He's just pissed off from his golf game that he had yesterday. He shoots 70s and 80s when he's not around me, but I tell him that he dropped a ball out of his pocket when he's in the woods, and he loses his mind. So he's still pissed off about that. But he knows he would love to be on an island with me.
And last one, Ryan, you got gray hair. We usually see you grow it out into some flow. Will it be possible for you to ever get a mullet?
I mean, what you got right now is pretty dang strong. I don't know, man. It's a process I'm working on right now. I probably won't get a haircut to the end of the year, just kind of what it is. Maybe I'll trim it up a little bit, but that's a strong mullet you got. I don't know if I could ever do the shaved sides like you got, like the short up top, shaved, and then really long. That's big commitment, and props to you for committing to that. So does your hair naturally that straight, or did you straighten it?
No, it's naturally that. I actually tried to put it in braids to get it curlier.
Oh, it looks good. I don't know if I could do that commitment. I just like the long hair, and people just think it's a mullet a lot of times just because it's in a hat. But I just do long hair. You got a huge commitment going. I don't think I can ever pull that off. I can't.
Well, thank you very much for your time today, Ryan. It's been Tino Patino here with Ryan Blaney, driver number 12, turning left and right today. So best of luck to him. Thanks for watching.